Today's video is a game that I saw Jashana over on her channel play. I'll link her video down below if you want to check it out. But it's the game called Reread, Rewrite, or Burn. So basically, I took all the books that I read in 2021 and I put them all in this jar, and I'm gonna pick 3, and then I have to kind of say which one would I reread, which one would I rewrite, and which one would I just burn. I'm a little worried that I'll get like 3 books that I really liked because that'll just be really rough. Before I start the video, I am going to officially tag Sam from Green Eggs and Sam books. So if you want to do it, Sam, please feel free to. It's not too hard. I just wrote on like little strips. Anyways, let's begin. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the first one is The Bone Maker. Second one is The Priory of the Orange Tree. Oh, and the third one is Eragon. This is not too hard. I already know. So Priory of the Orange Tree is a reread because I really did enjoy it. I think that the only thing I didn't enjoy very much was the ending, or rather like how it all wrapped up. I thought it was almost a little rushed, maybe. It was a really big book, and for a standalone fantasy that had that much in it, it did a really good job. But out of these 3, definitely this one is a reread. Now between Eragon and The Bone Maker, I thought my decision would be easier. I was gonna say that like I would rewrite The Bone Maker and I would burn Eragon, but the truth is I didn't hate Eragon. I just didn't like the series as a whole. The first book, Eragon, I actually like it. Probably the only one that I do. I did like The Bone Maker. I like the ideas in it. I just remembered like feeling like a lot of the characters were dull almost, or I don't know. I barely even remember the book. You know what? Yeah, okay, we'll say that Eragon, I would rewrite, I think, the character of Eragon and like some of the things. Yeah, I would rewrite Eragon, but I would burn The Bone Maker. I don't even think there's anything to save it. For me anyways. Alright, that's 3 down. I don't actually know how many of these I'm gonna do, so we'll just go until, I don't know, I get bored. Alright, I've got 3. Oh, we have Vengeful. Oh, that one. Yeah. A Conjuring of Light. Oh no, you can't do this to me. Salem's Lot. Are you fucking kidding me? I loved all these books. Oh, shit. Okay, A Conjuring of Light is the 3rd book in the Gathering of Shadows series by V. Schwab, my favorite author. Vengeful is the 2nd book in the, like, Villains trilogy. I've heard that there is going to be a 3rd book coming out. I just don't know when. Also V. Schwab. So it's really hard for me to, like, shit on that one. And then Salem's Lot was the first book, the first Stephen King book that I read, and I really liked it a lot. I don't want to burn any of these. The one that I would rewrite would be probably Salem's Lot, just because it's extremely long. But I'm not burning either of these. Can I skip this part? Can I just pretend that I did this? Because A Conjuring of Light and Vengeful are both books that I would reread. Oh, fuck me. I think out of principle, for the fact that V. Schwab is my favorite author, I would have to burn Salem's Lot because I would just have to. A Conjuring of Light was amazing. I loved it so much. So we're going to say that this one is the reread, and Vengeful, we'll just rewrite some parts of it. So that's the verdict for that. This is hard. I read a lot of books that I really enjoyed in 2021. 1, 2, 3. Oh, fucking shit. The Conductors, The Lies of Locke Lamora, and Inheritance. Oh, easy fucking peasy. Alright, Inheritance, fucking burned that one. Hated it. Lies of Locke Lamora, I will reread it. And The Conductors, probably just rewrite it, because I didn't absolutely hate it. There were a lot of things that didn't work for me very well. I don't even remember much. I think it was like pacing and plot development and like character relations. I remember getting lost a lot in the book or losing interest and not really listening. So maybe, yeah, if Conductors is rewritten, I'd probably reread it. Lies of Locke Lamora, I really liked it, and I do want to read the rest of the books. I feel like maybe I'll reread it before I read the rest of the books. And Inheritance, fucking hated it. As I said, Eragon, not my favorite, so burning it. All right, let's pull out another 3. Oh, that's more than 3. Okay, we've got 1, 2. I made very thin strips, so it's actually kind of hard for me to grab them. 3. Okay. Oh. Yeah, The Lost Apothecary, All of Us Villains, and A Darker Shade of Magic. Oh, this one's easy. Lost Apothecary, burn that. Burn that shit. All of Us Villains, I would rewrite some parts of it because I did really like it. Some parts were maybe not quite my favorite. Like, there were also some cliches that happened, and the magic could have been a little better explained. I know there's a sequel. Maybe I'll read it. And A Darker Shade of Magic, fucking reread. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. The Near Witch, another V. Schwab book. I read a lot of V. Schwab last year. A Lady's Formula for Love, Darling Rose Gold. Okay, so the decision is easy, but at the same time, like, I don't want to give the impression that I really hated this book. So, A Lady's Formula for Love is a romance, and I'm not a big fan of romance in the first place. But thinking back on it, I really did enjoy this book quite a bit. It was instead of being like young lovers, it was actually like, midlife 40-year-olds just with their own jobs and careers, and they meet and they have good chemistry. But what I remember about the book is that they still had their passion, they still had their job that they liked, but they were just really into each other. So this one, I'm gonna just burn it in comparison to the other ones. The Near Witch, I would rewrite. I would rewrite it because I do remember that there was kind of because it's a young adult, I believe, and there was a little bit of like a romance that popped up, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I felt like I remember it was rushed. The relationship, the affections that they had for each other was a little rushed in my opinion, and I think that if it had been like pulled out a little more, I would have probably not felt so, I don't know, like, hey, they really like each other now. And it's like, yeah, but there's a bigger thing going on right now, and I think they should focus on that a little more. So yeah, Near Witch, I would rewrite it. And Darling Rose Gold, I would reread it. This was probably my favorite book club read last year, and I think the rest of the book club agrees. It was just really good. Oh, that's a lot. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3. Oh, read him. Okay. The Year of the Witching, The Last Watch, and Certain Dark Things. So The Year of the Witching, I remember reading it because I wanted something that was more horror, I guess, but then when I read it, it was definitely like more of a dark fantasy than anything else, but I did really, really like it. And I think it's a series, but I'm not going to continue it because the way that the first one ended just felt like a standalone. The Last Watch is a sci-fi book, which I read and I liked, but I didn't I don't know. There were some things about it that I guess kind of bothered me. I think it was because the main character just annoyed me. I know there's a sequel that's already out, and I'm still debating whether I want to read it or not. Every time I go to a bookstore and I see it, I'm like, do I want to buy the other book? And certain dark things. This one was like a vampire horror, I guess, but it just didn't work well for me. So we are going to go with certain dark things is gonna burn. The Last Watch should be rewritten, and the Year of the Witching, I'd reread it. Okay, I think I'll do like 2 more. Okay, 1. That's a long title. It could be one of 2. 2, 3. Okay, I've got The Woman in the Window. Dune. Oh, I know what that's getting. And The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Alright, so this is pretty easy. Dune, if you don't know, classic sci-fi. Everyone has apparently read it and loved it. The Woman in the Window, that's a mystery thriller that was adapted into a Netflix movie that ended up being fucking awful. The Woman in the Window was also a book club read for me. And then The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. That is a horror, and I loved it. So yeah, alright, Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, I would fucking reread that in a heartbeat. The Woman in the Window, I would rewrite it. And Dune, I would fucking burn it. And that's the only explanations I'm going to give on that. I think I have a vlog where I read Dune, and I read that book. Okay, last batch. Uno. Dos. Tres. The Hollow Places, The Shadow of the Gods, and A Gathering of Shadows. Fuck me. I feel like every single like batch of 3 I've picked up, there's been at least one of my book club books on it. The Hollow Places was book club read. This one is a horror. We read it because people wanted new stuff in the book club, so we read a horror. I personally thought that it was not a horror. It was, I don't know, it started off with something really good, really strange, really creepy, and then it just went into like a very basic, like, haunted museum type of thing. And I was like, okay, that's not that great. Shadow of the Gods is a Viking-esque fantasy with dead gods and warriors and a plot that is happening where children are required, which is quite awful. And the magic in it just feels so pagan. It feels so pagan. And A Gathering of Shadows is the second book in the Darker Shades of Magic trilogy, which has features like magical games, and you get a lot more of Lila's POV, which I did enjoy a lot. So The Shadow of the Gods, I absolutely loved it. There was nothing that I didn't like about it. But A Gathering of Shadows, there were some, I felt kind of not underwhelmed at all. I just had moments where I wasn't as invested in everything going on as I was in The Shadow of the Gods. So here's the order. Shadow of the Gods would be a reread. Gathering of Shadows, I would rewrite it. And Hollow Places, I'd just burn it. Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself too. And if you want to play this game too, please feel free to. I do think it's kind of fun. And I mean, I could go on forever, but I feel like this video would be too long. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.